Alright, a new week of Super Mario RPG adventures! Last time we beat this mimic in this chest. We're in the bottom of a sunken ship. Some stuff's going down. Now we can just get coins, though. Now we don't have to fear this anymore. I mean, we still have to fear it. It's devastating, but you get the idea. Alright, so we can clearly go down. And we're going to want to, because there's frog coins back here. And you can just walk right past them if you're an idiot. Now we can jump out of the water, but we're going to try and make it to the door before the Cheep Cheep catches up. Phew. Cheep Cheeps, man. Always in the way. Alright. Let's take a quick look. Mostly to remind myself of where we're at here. 200 or so for the next level for everybody, although Toadstool's closer. I feel like we're like a level behind right now. Maybe a couple of levels. But I don't know. So back in the corner there you can see what looks to be a door. And if we go behind the barrels here... Got a safety ring. Come on, safety ring! If I remember correctly, because we got the amulet, we had the badge too. I believe this is, yeah, you can't get one hit KO'd basically. And we didn't really like the safety badge that much. We're going to keep that on Toadstool because it raises their stats a little bit, and also because we're going to have a couple different fights coming up where those are going to be an issue in the long run, and she can revive people, whereas we have to use items with everybody else. So the more she can stay alive, the easier it is for us. Alright. So we gotta get out of this water. And immediately just come back over here. Because there's a frog coin at the top. And while we're not super worried about them, they're easy to get, we might as well. And here we are. Arr! Immediately surrounds Mario. Johnny's property. Read my lips. We ain't letting you through. Oh, we're gonna see about that. Nobody tells me how to live my life. Too early. There we go. Oh, Mario can kill him in one hit. Oh, no. Cool looking little guys, though. Look at them. Being all sharky with their bandanas. Actually timed that one correctly, too. Oh, well. Once again. Easy enough. 24 experience, pretty good. Arr. Yeah, so they gotta go. And we heal up because, you know, here come these guys. Just run us over. There he is. Get him, boys. Look at this. Expert dodging skills. How dare you dodge that? We come down here. These guys are dead. It's not a good look. I mean, you know how I got up here. You threw something at me and it missed, so I just walked up here. It's, you know, it's a thing. By the way, we haven't talked about Geno Whirl. Geno Whirl is, in theory, the most broken ability in the game. If you time it right with a timed hit, it does 9999 damage, which kills just about everything in the history of the world. Now, most bosses are immune to it, and the timing window is a little unforgiving, but still, we could be flying through here just exploiting that to no limit at all. There are a couple of fights in particular where that is quite handy. We are not going to use it as such, but still. Man, do we need one group spell. Just take the edge off a little bit. Mario's turn. Mario Wah! Done. Gotta thin the field a little bit, so we'll take care of these two and then we'll start working on the rest. Princess, you're not gonna be doing anything here. Go ahead and just heal. This is one of those things where we could be using like Mallow in the regular fights and then just bringing in Peach for the boss fights. And I may consider doing that later just to speed this up a little bit. But it's not that necessary. It's not like we're threatened here. Really, as long as you know what you're doing, and as he takes off, this game isn't terribly difficult, but if you're not getting the most out of your levels and you're not exploiting the stars that you get to get a lot of experience, you know, it can get more difficult. As always, you could just level up and get stronger that way. I think the next room is just a fight. And other than Princess, nobody's that close to a level, so let's do it. Look at this badass. There's a reason why I used his picture as one of the background pictures for the daily posts, because, man. Just swilling the wine in his glass. Sitting on a chair. A shark with a cape. Look at that. It does sort of, once again, look like a Donkey Kong Country enemy. Boy, they really don't like Geno, do they? So, standard boss strategy, we are going to Geno boost until we can no longer Geno boost. And then we're going to hit people in the face until we can no longer hit them in the face. Now, the strategy of thinning the herd is not going to surprise you, but in this case, it's because Johnny's going to get tougher and kind of change the fight later. But before he gets tougher, we want to make sure we have the numbers under control. Raise the roof. Lucky, lucky. As you can see, they're doing decent damage where I'm not blocking it with perfect timing. But not anything that I'm super worried about. Okay, now it's time to start swinging. I think one more princess attack will kill this one. Yeah. Don't worry, Johnny, we're coming for you. Alright. We could heal here, but I don't think we need to yet. One. Well, that informs future turns, doesn't it? That's one with Geno boost up, by the way. Now, granted, physical attacks aren't her forte, but still, one is kind of embarrassing. A cool attack. Jump. Not especially damaging, but good damage. Defend? There it is. Get tough! Changes color, now the pitchfork looks especially evil. Not bad, fellas. Alright, Mario, since I'm losing 1-on-3, let's do it 1-on-1. And Mario's like, yeah, sure, why not? I'm a cool guy. Good fun, says the pirate. Now, at first I thought, oh my god, are we having like 2 different fights and they're like diagonals and they're all attacking each other? No, they're just cheering us on right now. So Johnny's got his backup crew, they're cheering him on, and Gino and Peach are like, yeah, Mario, yeah! Apparently we got 2 consecutive turns, although the second one only did 24 damage. I don't know what's happening right now. Variable damage. Ooh, Mega Drain. This'll sting. Oh no, it did 4. Gonna have to use Diamond Saw to do more damage than that. And that's the problem with this. Like, it's just once you get to this part of the fight, especially because I got 3 turns in a row for some reason, it's not that much of a concern. And even without the 3 turns, you know, it's just you're okay. You're gonna do enough damage. He's gonna die, but he fights with honor. To be fair. And here's the star. You know, if it's such a concern that we get all the stars together and save the world, they should stop wasting our time by spinning around like this. Just come here already. So that's 5. 5 out of 7 before we can finally get the Star Road back and start getting wishes again and loving life. Mario turns towards the screen, so you know it's time. There's a trampoline. Johnny's our main man. We'd follow him anywhere. Get out of here before I change my mind, he says, staring wistfully out the porthole. Okay. Now, the temptation is, of course, okay, well, we're done, so let's just go wherever. But we actually need to go back to Seaside Town. Remember, the Elder did ask us to get the star. Your journey ends here. You're so gullible. Don't you know who I am? I'm Yaridoviches. Shocked. Yeah, nobody even noticed. It's futile to try and fight me. Just hand it over, nice and easy. Now, of course, your temptation here is to go, no. I mean, you just told me you're working for Smithy. But we actually have to. If we hit Get Serious, this dialogue will loop, and in between, he just keeps torturing the mayor by tickling him. And while that's funny, and if you do it 3 times, he gets particularly devastated by it, we're going to say okay, because we're gullible, and because the actual Elder will give us a better reward. There is no choice but to eventually give it to him, though. There they go. They basically all keep coming over here. Like, he sends off 1 or 2 of them, and they come in here, and they F him up with tickling. Plays late. Gotta get out of here. How did you catch up to us? We went like 40 feet away. Whoops. Johnny doesn't take kindly to regifting. He knows he's messed up now. Group formation. Now, I don't know exactly how the physics of this work. It's not clear, but we're not going to ask questions. So this is a difficult fight, and I'm actually, I think, a tiny bit underleveled for it, but I also know the trick with it. We are going to Geno Boost, of course. This is one of the tougher fights in the game. This fight messed me up when I was a kid. I've gotten better at it since, but back then, 1 damage. So we know what Princess is going to be doing. Healing and nothing. Water Blast. This is why this fight is difficult. This is going to hurt. Yeah. 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 Now, luckily, we know what to do about that, but, you can see why this fight can be difficult if you can't manage your health. If for some reason you have the Mario, Bowser, Geno team here and you're not prepared with items, you're pretty much done. Okay. We always prefer to see pretty much anything that's not Water Blast here. Just because at best it'll do a lot of damage to one character, but not all of them. So he's got pretty devastating magic. He has a couple physical attacks he can do, which we also prefer. And he has one more trick up his sleeve that we'll get to once we do some more damage. Well, when I said he was difficult, the implication was, you know, when he hits. Man, Mario isn't dodging like a pro. Ah, yes. The infamous Mirage attack. So there's two of them now. And with it comes 2 turns. Now the trick here is your temptation is to hit one, see what happens, hit the other one, see what happens. The clone, the fake one, has lower defense, so you do more damage to it, and you think, oh, I'm going to attack that one. But you're not actually doing anything besides removing the clone from the fight. But, as I first went to attack here, I'm targeting the real one. You always start off with the cursor on the correct one, so as long as we don't modify it, we know that one's the real one. That did 81. If we attack this one for funsies, 218! Ow! I was not ready to block that, and I should have been. So we'll go back to this one and just ignore the clone. We can't kill the clone quickly enough to make it worthwhile, because the temptation would be, well, at least you can reduce the damage and then work on the real one. Yes, but it's not really worth the time. Yep, wasn't ready again. Also, the real one does more damage. That's another tell. The fake one doesn't use that attack. He just takes off his head and stabs you. There's a part of Yaridoviches' name that means spear in Japanese, I believe. I don't remember what part, but I think that's where the name comes from. And there we go, back to 1. That also means that the abilities like Water Blast are back in play, so you always have these mixed emotions. Do you want him to be 2 because he gets 2 rounds? Do you want him to be 1 because he can't use 2 attacks, but then he hits spells? Now, unlike last time, Geno Boost is up on everybody, so we're not as worried about that. Back-to-back Water Blasts, which, for a less prepared party, can be quite lethal. And as you can see, that's a 2-hit KO without Geno Boost up, basically. That was doing between 50 and 60 damage to everybody who wasn't boosted, and there's no way we have that much health. Even Bowser, I think, is short of that mark right now. There's one we haven't seen yet. Just boom. Meteor. It does 0. Princess tanking it like a pro. The other problem with this fight, as I'm sure you're noticing, is he's quite beefy. We've been putting licks on him for about 10 to 12 rounds now, and he is not dead. Once again, cursor starts up there. Also, we could tell that the second one, the one on the right, just used the take off the head attack, so we know that's not the real one. Oh, well. So much for the Mirage attack. So knowing the trick there only saves you a turn, basically. You can figure out which one's which eventually over the course of the fight, but if you know it, then you just attack that one from the beginning. You don't waste your time attacking the clone. Of course, we did waste our time attacking the clone, just to show off what it did. Bowser, yeah, he wasn't at 120 yet either. Even after the level, he's not. All right, 1 health, so that's a no. But we'll take the attack. Bowser likes attack.